I was born and raised in Colombia, South America. I grew up, or I was born to a Catholic family. My family was a very loving family, however, there was a lot of control. And I'm not sure if you know a little bit about Colombia, but back then when I was growing up, it was very macho-oriented. And men actually were honored and they could do whatever basically they wanted. And with women, there were restrictions. There was nothing of me growing up. Everything was decided for me, like the foods that I should eat, when I needed to wake up, almost the thoughts, because the times when I actually expressed certain things, a lot of times I was punished for it. And the music that we listened to, the books, so there was a lot of restriction. There was no time for a natural development or to getting acquainted or to have a sense of self. There was no room for that. And God was this thing that I feared constantly, because the way that he was introduced to me is I couldn't hide from him. He knew my innermost thoughts. and in short, I needed to suffer to go to heaven, and there were a lot of really beliefs that have moved in my lineage from generation to generation. I graduated from high school. I was 18 years old, came to Canada, 19, married, believe it or not. Shortly after, or 2 or 3 years into the marriage, we had my 2 kids. I remember being grateful, for what I had around me, for my kids, for a husband who loved me immensely and who was very committed to the kids and to the family. And I had these conversations with God often, especially when we went to church, because it was a tradition that we felt it was important to keep with the kids. I would look around and just say, thank you. Even though the marriage at the beginning, we had our challenges, we really were maturing as a couple and creating intimacy. And all of a sudden, all that was gone because he was murdered almost in front of our eyes. And I believe to this day, we are still dealing with the aftermath of that event. That certainly pulled the carpet off our feet. And the fact that I wasn't there, I wasn't in my life, so I couldn't really give my kids the support that they needed. And not only that, but when something like this happens, you lose trust in the universe, and especially God. I was so angry at him. Like I didn't allow anyone to talk to me about God, and my reasoning will be, what did we do that is so good that we deserve this gift, or what did we do so bad that we're punished this way? Part of that inner dilemma was the fact that I started to realize that I had premonitions, that something terrible was going to happen. And I actually saw in my dreams how he was going to be killed. But I didn't know anything about intuition. Before it happened, I had like 3 big dreams that something was going to happen, but I only put it together after. So that created more conflict and guilt, thinking I could have prevented this. We did the best that we could, I think, all of us. And a few years after that, I fell in love again, and I got married. At one point in the marriage, I realized that something was lacking. And I had a vision of me younger, like 11 years, talking to my mom and my uncle and my aunt and telling them, I'm not going to be like you. And they said, why? And I said, where are you? You lost yourselves. Everything is about your husbands and you're so servile. Servile is all about what they want. It's like if they're the kings and you're not in the picture. Look at me, and they said, oh yeah, you're going to be like us. And she showed up. She showed up and she said, "You're being like them." And I thought, oh my God. I couldn't put it together. I really didn't know how I was being like them, but I knew that I knew something that I couldn't overlook. And I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? Because for whatever reason, he was in my blood. I loved him dearly. But I could see what was not working. But again, I knew that needed to end. So that was done. It was a painful experience. However, I felt that I was honoring that young girl. And that gave me peace. However, I went through a lot of pain, intense pain, and what made it worse was that shortly after I saw myself involved in 2 lawsuits. At the same time, while I was going through all this, I somehow came across the word chakra, and a friend of mine brought a book that I read in a weekend, you know? And I didn't understand everything, but my soul recognized it, I guess, because I couldn't have enough of it. So I really resonated with the book, and then I was going through a lot. I wanted to find out how I can get energy. I didn't know how I can, but I knew that I was empty. I was running on empty. And then somehow I became acquainted with Reiki, and I did Reiki 1, but not understanding anything. Don't have a good recollection of how I became acquainted or this curriculum, this program at Transformational Arts College was in front of me, and I said, I'm going to do this program as a spiritual psychotherapist. And I got really excited when I saw that part of the curriculum included energy, the non-physical, which I knew nothing about, but I could anticipate something good, and the chakra system. So I went and did that. Again, a lot of pain. The program actually stirred up a lot of wounds. So I was going to therapy, studying, running a family, you know, like going through a divorce, and it was a lot. And I remember one day I crumbled. I collapsed on the floor and I asked God to help me. And my words were, I don't know how to do life. I don't know how to do life, and I'm afraid, please help me. For a few days, I couldn't sleep unless the image came into my third eye that I was sleeping on his lap. And the image was Jesus. So I will see myself sleeping on his lap, and I had a relief and a sense that things will be okay. I started meditation. I came across two incredible books. I became very curious about the occult and esotericism. So I learned about initiations, and I realized that I was in a path. And I felt that I was being called to follow this path. It was so right that I came to Canada. You know, I don't know if I could have let go of so many beliefs and ways of thinking if I wouldn't have been introduced to another culture. You know, so I think it made it easier. You know, I thought I was betraying Jesus when I got introduced to the hierarchy and all the different religions. So I went out of Catholicism to go back into it, to go out again into my own version of spirituality and connection to the divine. Because it was a journey and a discovery, and I guess now, talking to you, Alexia, I realized that I have been gentle with myself that way, that not knowing, I guess that is part of the process. You go in and out, I guess in and out, and anyways, I said yes. I'm saying yes to this path, but you have to hold my hand all the way. And I was serious with this petition that I made to the universe, and I have felt really the love and support. Through this program, I learned a lot of, about numerology, the intuitive arts, the tarot, which was another tool, dreams. I will say my favorite mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, like God, open my eyes, show me what I need to see. Having gone through all these challenges, what really supported me was having new information, connecting to my intuition and knowledge. All that gave me the courage to embark into this journey of self-discovery. And I'm just honored and happy to share with humanity all the tools that have served me come into my heart. And like the idea of not contributing, it makes it almost a wasted pain, wasted experience. And so giving back really is something that fills my heart, and not only by sharing the tools that I have learned, but giving people hope that no matter where they are in their lives, it's just temporarily, and there is grace and light at the end of the tunnel. I have never felt happier, healthier, more whole in my life than that right now. And the beauty of that statement is that is not associated to anything. I live a very simple life, and there is joy really in every single thing that I do. Get to know who you are, be in your life, follow your intuition, connect to your inner self, be curious, don't be afraid to feel. Be curious about your life. I think that would be the best thing. As you uncovered what you're not, but has been part of you and has brought you to this place where you have learned all these incredible, rich lessons. Use your body. It has secrets to tell you. Every sensation, every feeling, every thought, every dream, we are constantly really getting information in one way or the other, but there is so much business that we miss it. I'm very excited about this new stage of my life. Like I'm coming to an age of retirement, and I feel so alive and inspired, but what do I know about what is coming? So there is a mystery, and there is something that I don't know that really is very compelling. And there is no fear. There is a lot of gratitude. The year 2000 was so scary because I thought I will be 40 by then, and that will be the end of my life. I will be at the end of my life. To be here today, thinking that I have another few good years where I could be fully participating and contributing and enjoying and living, engaged with life, is very exciting.